Many Nigerians would believe that one of the greatest scams in the oil sector of the economy is the actual daily figure of petrol consumed in the country. Attempt to get the exact figure has not been too fruitful. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, has criticized the non-appearance of top officials of the government before the Ad Hoc Committee on volume of fuel consumed daily in Nigeria. At its investigative hearing in Abuja, Gbajabiamila, who is also represented by the Deputy Majority Leader, Peter Apatasin, was mute that most of the critical stakeholders, like the Minister of State for Petroleum, Timothy Silva, the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, and the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, and other executive officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, that's NNPC, Mili Kyari, were absent from the hearing. Let's share the story with you.
Petrol consumption in Nigeria jumped from 55.59 million litres per day in April to 72.07 million litres in May, as subsidy hit 541.66 billion naira. The monthly NNPC report showed that Nigeria supplied 8.76 billion litres in fuel consumption between January and May 2022. Yet, in the midst of the soaring figures, Nigerians are going through a hard time moving from one destination to the other. This fact-finding gathering is to hear from those that should know.
The mandate of the committee is to ascertain daily consumption of PMS, which can best be confirmed through what is dispensed at the fueling stations daily.
The critical stakeholders that have been invited here will be represented by their chief executive officers. I hardly can see any chief executive officer here. How much more not sending any representative at all? It is a shame. It is unacceptable to the House of Representatives.
The Nigeria Governors Forum, IPMAN, Nigeria Customs Service, NEITI, Nigeria Labour Congress, and the Nigerian Navy took turns to share their thoughts on the subject matter. They call for the automation of the processes of storage and distribution of the product.
With that technology, the data will be captured even to the last liter consumed. This is a period where we are talking about technology, and it's important we bring it to bear. It will cost us nothing to do that.
Be more checks and balances, accountability and transparency from top to bottom in terms of what's going in and what's going out. But the task before us is not a Herculean task. It's not rocket science. It's very straightforward.
The volume of PMS claimed to be imported into the country is much higher than what is actually imported, and by extension much bigger than the national consumption capacity.
All at the investigative hearing agreed that the transparent operation of the importation of premium motor spirit would deter falsification of figures and also save the country enormous resources. Joke Adisa, TVC News, Abuja.
So this is another big scam that when you get to the bottom of it, the root of it, you discover that, look, a lot of people might have been benefiting from, we are not in any way, we can't be consuming over 6 million, liters of petroleum products every day.
Well, this issue has been on for so many years. And over time, the blame has been the fuel is smuggled into neighboring countries and sold at higher prices. We closed the border for a while. But at that time, there wasn't this increase in the cost of petrol in the international markets. So we wouldn't know whether that helped or not. But my major concern in this issue is the fact that this Ninth National Assembly has not proven to be strong enough to deal with the issues that we have on ground. the legislature is supposed to act as a check to the executive. But the sign or the signal we keep getting from this legislature is anything that the executive does is right. And once you get to that point where somebody feels you are a toothless bulldog, no matter how critical any issue is, you are going to be ignored. You are going to be ignored. And this is a major issue for us. How do we defend the kind of figures that we keep getting?
Yeah.
Somebody wrote an article during the week. You may want to check out the article in full. The title, "May Nigeria Never Experience This Night National Assembly Again?" It was written by Michael Owoko. If you permit, let me read maybe the first 3 paragraphs. He said, in the absence of an inevitable miracle, when an assessment of performance of the executive arm of government will be carried out on May 29 next year, using the economy, security, and corruption as index, President Muhammadu Buhari may likely go down as a failed president. If this happens, the legislative organ of government should be largely ashamed. Firstly, for failing to invoke the doctrine of checks and balances to ensure that the president discharges his statutory obligations in line with national interest and aspirations. Secondly, for failing to halt the breach of federal character principle by the president. Thirdly, for failing to interrogate the executive for sliding economic indices. Let me skip and go to the point where he made. It's that signs that the National Assembly will be a weakling and lacking a mind of its own emerged when the Senate President Ahmed Lawan said, any request from Mr. President is a request that will make Nigeria a better place. How do you determine that?
Just confirmed.
And everything must go in that direction. When somebody hurts you in the National Assembly, you go to the president to go and complain. There are ways of checking these things. If they don't come, you hold their budgets. We have been on this matter for years, since this government came into power. How many times have strident actions been taken against these people? They are still in office, enjoying what they need to enjoy.
A quick one on this.
I don't know
It's a shame.
what is difficult in us knowing or NNPC telling us how the number of fuel that we consume in a day in Nigeria. They are the ones that are importing
The fuel.
product. Not that we have another company that is importing and then they would,
At least they are the major
they are
importer.
the major
They are
importer.
not
Because we
the
know
sole
after,
importer.
yes, because we
Yes.
know that after when we had the bad fuel, that
Yes.
was when we now knew that
Started,
there are some
Not that they are the
other
major
ones.
importer. They also know what those other guys are importing.
Importing.
The records are with them.
Yes, because they have
The
the
records
quotes
are there.
The records are there. So why can't they now take it to the National Assembly? They have a probe. So that is what we even Nigerians should be demanding from this assembly, even from this probe.
So if we don't know the number of liters we are taking per day,
exactly,
that means government is just paying subsidy
for some people, enriching
and
some
that is
people.
why that thing is always there. That this subsidy is a fraud.
So we need this. If they are serious about this probe, they should be able to tell us after this that from their findings. We know that at the end of it, nobody will be prosecuted because it's just a probe. But let us even know whether it is in fact, whether 72 million liters per day, 50 liters per day,
so
who are the people that are importing.
Their inability to appear before this committee now, I think
can
the National Assembly go ahead to issue a bench warrant?
A bench warrant, yes. Because we need to know. Because we can't be paying some people subsidy or paying some people money for not importing. There was a time some people were saying they were importing. They were not importing anything. They would just carry ship from one country and then they will come empty. We will still give them money.
All right.
So it has to stop.
We have to leave it there. Dr. Oladipo, thank you for your contribution.
Thank you so much for having me.
And Suko James, thank you for coming on the show. And that's our offering today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11 p.m. and join us on Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. for Journalist Hangout on Sunday, 120 minutes. It's going to be very interesting. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/tvcnews.nigeria. I'm Ayodele Uzubaku. Bye for now. See you next week.